Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to talk about how to add and subtract polynomials. So when we want add or subtract, we just want to combine like terms. And there's two ways to do this. You could add or subtract vertically or horizontally, kind of whichever one you prefer or whichever one your teacher wants you to do. So in this video we'll do one of each. So for the first two we're going to find the sum. We know sum means to add. So number one, let's do it vertically. So when you're doing it vertically, you can go ahead and write your first trinomial. So 3x squared plus 4x plus 3. And now we want to write our addition sign, and we can draw our line here. Let's make a straight line. There we go. And now when we write our second polynomial, 2x plus 5x squared plus 1, we want to vertically align our like terms. So 5x squared, we're going to write it first, and then we're going to say plus 2x, and then lastly plus 1. And so now we just vertically add our common terms, or our like terms. So 3x squared and 5x squared would be 8x squared, plus 4x and 2x would be 6x, and 3 plus 1 would be 4. Okay, so for this one we can say this is equal to 8x squared plus 6x plus 4. Okay, all right, and for number two, I'm going to add it horizontally. So one thing that I like to do is rewrite my terms without the parentheses. So when we're doing addition, it's not bad. So for number two, we can say negative 5x squared plus x plus 2. Now, essentially, we're distributing whatever is on the outside of this parentheses, right? So this is just plus 1. So we can just take away our exponents here, okay? So let me back up just a little bit. So we had negative 5x squared plus x plus 2. Now we're going to have plus 2x squared minus x minus 9, okay? So one thing that I like to do is draw either like a little box, kind of like half of a box or half of a circle under my common terms, so I know what I am doing. So let's start with negative 5x squared plus 2x squared. So this is just like negative 5 plus 2, so we get negative 3x squared. Now we have positive x minus x, so those are just going to cancel each other out, so we don't have an x term. And lastly, we're going to say 2 minus 9, which would give us negative 7, okay? So our answer for number two, we're going to say negative 3x squared minus 7. All right, let's look about subtraction. So now it says find the difference. And once again, we could do this vertically or horizontally. So for number one, we have 3x squared plus 8, and then minus 6x squared plus 4x minus 2. So if we want to vertically subtract these, we need to be a little bit careful here. So let's go ahead and write 3x squared. But notice we don't have an x term, so we need to leave a placeholder for that. So you can write plus 0x and then plus 8. And let's do subtraction on the outside. Let's draw our line underneath here. And now let's write our next polynomial. So we have 6x squared plus 4x minus 2, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and subtract these. So we have 3x squared minus 6x squared. So that's going to be negative 3x squared. Now here we didn't have an x term in our first polynomial, so we had to add that 0x in there so that we know to change the sign because it's 0x minus 4x. So this is going to be negative 4x. And then lastly, 8 minus negative 2 would turn into 8 plus 2. So this is going to end up with plus 10. So we can write our answer as negative 3x squared minus 4x plus 10. And for number two, let's do this one horizontally. So let's write it horizontally without the parentheses. 12x squared plus 5x minus 7. But now here we have to distribute this negative. So essentially it's just going to change the sign of every term that is in that polynomial. So instead of minus negative 4x squared, I'm going to say plus 4x squared, and then minus 3x, and then plus 1. And now we can draw our little half box or half circle underneath our like terms. So we have 12x squared plus 4x squared, so it's going to be 16x squared. Then we have positive 5x minus 3x, so that's just going to be plus 2x. And then negative 7 plus 1, so minus 6. Okay, so for this one, we're going to say this is equal to 16x squared plus 2x minus 6. All right, and that is how you add and subtract polynomials.